Welcome to the Mid-Ohio Valley Public Forum video podcast. This podcast features issues of interest to the residents of the Mid-Ohio Valley area. Right now, the coronavirus pandemic has changed civic life greatly throughout our country.
One of the things that's changed is that this is an election year and the candidates cannot get out and campaign the way they normally would. Generally, this time of year, this close to the primary, they would be out at all the fairs and festivals and soup bean dinners and ramp suppers and shaking hands, meeting and greeting people. They can't do that now.
So many of our initial podcasts will be interviews with candidates running for local and state offices. If you're a candidate and you're interested in being interviewed, you can contact us through our Facebook page or via email. That's movpublicforum@gmail.com.
So today we're interviewing William J.R. Keplinger. J.R. is running for Agricultural Commissioner of the state of West Virginia. And one of the things we need to tell you is that the Agricultural Commissioner actually has more requirements to run for office than the governor does. Also, another thing is that West Virginia is only one of about a dozen states that elects its agricultural commissioner. Therefore, we think it behooves you as a voter to get acquainted with the agricultural commissioner candidates and find out what it is they actually do and what they hope to do. So today we have JR with us. We're so glad you could join us, JR. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Jennifer. Like she said, William J.R. Keplinger, that's me. I'm running for Agriculture Commissioner for the state of West Virginia. I'm 51 years old. I am married to my lovely wife of 18 years, Stacy. I have two children, Mackenzie, my daughter, and William, my son. I graduated West Virginia University with a degree, Bachelor of Science degree in Resource Management and Economics, and from the School of Agriculture, and in 1991. And that same year, I started a business selling bedding for farm animals called Keplinger Shavings. That is still in operation today, a successful business. And after that, 2000, I ran for county commissioner, Hardy County Commissioner, and I won, got elected in 2000 and served for 3 terms, 18 years. And 2018, I knew throughout my years growing up on the farm, I had a passion, everything. I was on poultry judging teams, anything involved with animal science out to at the WVU and through my high school years through FFA. And I enjoyed that so much. It was the passion that I had, and I want to help serve and protect and grow our agriculture in the state of West Virginia and help the economy of the state of West Virginia.
So candidates for Commissioner of Agriculture are required to meet certain stringent criteria. In addition to the usual requirements for holding elective office, they must be, according to West Virginia State Code, 3 things. Number 1, the commissioner shall be a practical farmer. Number 2, learned in the science of agriculture. And 3, must have made agriculture their chief business for a period of 10 years preceding the time they take office. So given that all the candidates have to meet that requirement, JR, what sets you apart? What's your edge over the others who are running for this office?
I do meet those requirements. I probably explained that or answered that question in the one previous. I didn't mean to, but actually, after having those requirements, it's just a desire. You have to love agriculture. The miracles you see every day, the passion. It has a lot of work. You work hard in agriculture. I mean, there is a reality that hits you that you're thinking, oh my, this is pretty hard work. But the rewards are endless. You know, me being on a family farm, I'm a third generation. I've learned a lot from my father. Moving on, and my mother, we worked on the farm. We have 700,000 broiler chickens and 65 head of cattle, and that's enough to keep you busy for a little bit. But I have a passion for all of it. We were in these swine business. We had 20 hogs and 20 sows, and you take, you know, those people there, they work hard too. And this wasn't a commercial type program. This was just a farm program that we had. We weren't a commercial producer. We were in the sheep business at the time. We raised turkeys, range turkeys. I bet that there's very few people out there that have experienced range turkeys, and that's probably in modern day what you would say equivalent to organic or natural. They were out in the wild, you know, and you stayed with them. You had the camps out there, and we raised approximately 10,000 head of turkey out on a range, and that would be in a field, up on a hill, wherever it was. And that was interesting too. I was young when we were into that, but my whole family experienced that, and that was a memory I'll always cherish of many of the things. But the passion, I mean, it's just, you have to want to be part of a bigger picture. And agriculture has so much to offer. Our technology is out there. New technology to bring our young people in. They're a whiz on computer. All you have to do is get them involved and to see what they can do that puts them in that agriculture field. And it's out there. I want to bring that to the youth. We need the youth to have an income. We need to have them realize that the agriculture future is out there for them.
Well, it sounds like that might answer our next question, which is what's your main motivation that made you decide to step up and run for office in 2020?
With all the, I feel I get asked that question a lot, and in my mind I have to figure out what would be the best words to explain it. And what I come up with was, you know, as you grow up, you know there's a purpose in life for you. And if you're fortunate enough to find that and find that passion that you have and a desire to do what you're meant to do, you know, the reason I ran for public office was I wanted to do more with what my degree was in. It was resource management and economics. I wanted to see what an economy would do in a county. I had that great fortune of being elected as a county commissioner in Hardy County, served 18 years. There were a lot of difficult times that you had to really think about what the right decision to make was. And I hope that I helped a lot of people through that. Through those years of being an elected official, taught me that I wanted to specialize more than anything, and specialize in agriculture. And that was my true passion from, I guess it's instilled in me. I mean, third generation, I have that desire to be an entrepreneur, and that's what a farmer is. He goes out there and he figures out how he can make it through the day. A lot of times I say he's got to be a MacGyver, you know, for those who are old enough, or maybe they got reruns on the TV now. But MacGyver was just one of those shows where that guy could take a tic tac and maybe anything, and he can make it happen. And as a farmer, you have to do that. You have to be an electrician. You have to be an engineer. You have to be a truck driver. You have to manage all of these things. And I know that, and I see that, and that is why I feel that what I've accomplished through my years is adding up to where I need to be the next step. And agriculture is important. Our state, the economy needs help. It needs a sustainable income for all people. And agriculture in general needs an income so that the farmer can stay in business. We want the family farm to exist. We want people that want to be a farmer to be able to have that opportunity to be a farmer. And I hope I didn't answer your other questions. I was just running on. But yeah, that's the whole point. I've had the dream for a while, and I want to do this. This is not just well, I want to do this. This is a mark. No, this is where I want to be. I think, and I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. I think that I can get people to help me through some of these questions that get answered, and get answers from these guys that to help me through these problems that I don't understand quite as much about. But with the experience I've had through what I've had for education from both the School of Hard Knocks as being a third generation farmer, and from my schooling, my Bachelor of Science degree, and from the education value I've got from being an elected official, knowing how legislature works. And I was on the County Commissions Association board for 12 years while I was in the county commission. And that allowed me to go across the state. So I got to meet other county commissioners in other areas, and they had similar problems, and you could ask them questions about what you wanted to do. That inner working system that you have to create, that is what helps you through a lot of difficult situations. So you have to have an open mind, and this is what I want to do.
Well, so in West Virginia, I'm sure you know this, but some of the people that watch this may not be aware. Approximately 98% of the farms in West Virginia are small farms, classified by the Department of Agriculture as small farms. And about 98% of those farms are family farms. So this is completely opposite what exists in most other states for agriculture. Most other states, it's the mega farms and the corporate farming is what they're dealing with. So if you're elected Commissioner of Agriculture, what do you hope to do to help those small farmers with the family farms?
Well, marketing is critical to small farms. Price taker is traditionally the way we do business. Whatever is out there, that's what we accept for our product. We need to look at other ways to get our products to the consumer. Value-added opportunities are a part of that, as well as other things that we can do new, including agritourism. Those opportunities are out there, and that's what I would like to research, try to give them an opportunity to even diversify. You can say you do have a beef operation or a poultry operation, something like that there. You may want to get into high tunnel. You might want to be a vegetable farmer as well, and that would give you a little extra income. So there's a lot of things, and one of your family members might have the green thumb. They might not want to be an animal producer of some sort. They might want to grow a vegetable garden, and the high tunnel gives you that number of days that you can grow a product longer throughout the year. And we need to work on that marketing as well. That's the one thing that I think the Ag Department needs to help. They can help these farmers have a business model, a business plan, and help create this market so that they can sell the product they produce. It's a wasteful thing when somebody builds a greenhouse or a high tunnel and they have no sale for their market, their value product. But there's someone out there that would like to have that product. We need to market it before you actually plant it in the ground. Now, what that the term is on that, when that product will be coming for market, and then you work with that. And so that's a few things that I think we could work on, and they're simple things. It's just we need to organize, and I'm sure some of it, it will come easy, and some of it we'll have to do a little research. So and I hope that we can solve those problems.
Well, much like the population of West Virginia, which is in decline and has been for decades, the number of farms in West Virginia is declining as well. At the peak, sometime in the 30s, we reached a high of 97,000 farms. Today, we're down near 20,000, and we're shedding farm operations weekly. Our farmers retire, and the next generation doesn't want to continue with the family farm operation for a host of reasons. Do you have a plan for turning this around, and what would you do about it?
Well, it is a big topic, transitioning the farms that we have today to the next generation. Part of it is societal, and part of it is economy. It's hard unless you have a family that wants to continue to farm, to continue to keep the land in farming. Some members see the dollar signs, and that's fine, but we need to look to those who are looking to get into farming, and a couple of those folks who want to keep their land in farming and find a realistic price and transfer opportunities to the next generation. That question would rise for me. For instance, I'm one of that. I'm a third generation. You know, for that fourth generation to my children, I should look to see how they could sustain. Times change, business changes. Since 1991, when I was in the bedding, providing bedding for farm animals, it has changed so much. The size of the trucks, the amount, the quality, things of that nature there, it changes every few years. You have to be up on the newest technology. You have to be right on point. And that gives them the opportunity, if they transfer that farm to the next generation and allow them to make changes, diversify if they want to, make it their farm. It doesn't have to be grandpa's farm. It's the next generation farm. And I guarantee if you sat down, if the grandfather, the father, or the son, or the daughter, however it goes, if they all sit down and have that discussion around the family table, they'll find a solution to it. But that talk needs to take shape. You need to have sit down and have that discussion. And some people don't realize until it's too late. And that's the shame, and that's when we lose our family farm. That's when we lose that tradition. So I think perhaps maybe the ag department could inspire people and put that information out there. I don't know who all would be involved, but I know Extension Service, things like that there could help with those problems. But we need to address them, and therefore we could allow these people to continue farming if they wish to, and put it into a farmer's hands.
So, JR, give us your thoughts on sustainable farming. Maybe you can explain just real briefly what it is for people that have never heard of it. But do you know farmers in West Virginia that are doing it successfully? And do you have a plan for encouraging people to try it and increasing the number of farmers who are doing sustainable farming?
The quick response is yes. Now, do you want me to elaborate on that one?
Just a little.
All farms should be sustainable. As mentioned earlier, it's appreciation and relationship to the land, to the product, nutrition management, alternating crops, companion crops, intensive versus not intensive management practice needs to be considered to each piece of land that the farm operates. The farmer knows the land, and most seen its capabilities and manage each piece of the productive land accordingly. There are more and more tools coming to the toolbox from technology that farmers can consider to better manage their operations. Advancing technology is the one thing that will bring our agriculture production to the 21st century. And we need to use all the technology advances. Broadband, internet service is important to agriculture. We need that just as important it is to citizens. I was talking to a fellow here not long ago. Wow, it's just a few minutes before this broadcast here, and we were talking about how important, like cell service, things like that. There, it's an extra service, an extra hand. You know, you can conduct business while you're out on the farm. You could run your cattle in the pen, or feed your chickens, or slop your hogs, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call. Well, here you're at your office. Right here you are. You know, that is the simple side of technology. It gets way more elaborate. Now, like poultry houses, which I have those, and high tunnel. You can get on your smartphone and you can change all the climate controls in those facilities. You can put more air in when it needs to be. You can raise your vents or your sides on your high tunnel to let more air in or out. Watering depends on what you need. All those things, fan time. You can check it all right there with the touch of a button, and that's what we need to gear towards. There's technology out there to grow easier, grow faster, and you have to make it to where the income is there to attract young people. They're not going to do, and we all know that there's farmers out there that their income is barely livable. It needs to be attractive. They can go out and get a job someplace and make good money, and they have a vacation, paid vacation, and they have insurance. So we have to make the farmer have that, and the marketing is where it's at. They have to have an income. So if they have the income, it's attractive enough for that young person to say, you know, this is where I want to be. So that's where we're at.
So another new trend in farming is something called urban farming. People are using land in urban areas and farming it. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 2 weeks ago, announced they will be giving away $3 million in grants for the development of urban agriculture. I know our city of Parkersburg has lots of vacant property that the city has, and it's producing little to no income, no property taxes. And in fact, it costs the city money because they have to mow and maintain those lots in order to keep up the appearance of the neighborhoods. I'm sure that many other locations in West Virginia face the same issues. So do you have a plan for encouraging urban agriculture in West Virginia?
Actually, urban ag and community gardens are definitely something that we can consider. Someone who has a property can allow its alternative use to offer those who want to grow their own food the possibility. In Hardy County, a community garden a few years ago matched people who wanted to grow their own food with a piece of property that was not being used for very much of anything. People were assigned a few square feet of a garden, and with the help of the Extension Service and community action, they had access to tools and experience to help them grow it. It is a good idea, especially now that we help folks grow food on land not currently used for any other purpose. Exercise, good food, fresh vegetables, and getting outside are all benefits as well with this COVID-19 is an eye opener on wanting to have access to quality foods and fresh foods and healthy foods, and that's what the Ag Department is all about. One of the priorities is plant and animal health, and that's what we have to have, because it is directly correlated with citizens' health of the state of West Virginia.
So JR, if you are elected, what is one thing that you want to make sure and accomplish during your term?
Uh, well, actually, marketing. I believe if we help the farmers create a market and a sustainable market, as I mentioned before, we're usually market takers. Whatever they provide, whatever the market is at the time, that's what we get. If it pays the bill, it does. If it doesn't, we run it for another year, hoping next year's better. In all levels, from the beef market to the poultry market, to the goat, to the sheep, every kind of animal you could talk, down to the vegetable is the same thing. And one thing I haven't mentioned is hemp. You know, the hemp is another resource that farmers have expanded into. And of course, it's got its difficulties. And a lot of those guys are working through it. But I'm glad to see them doing something a little different. It'll help. You have to diversify, and that's what we need to do. If we could do anything at all to help agriculture be sustainable, I believe helping the market would be the best thing that the agriculture department could possibly do. And in turn, it creates a shortfall for our economy for the state of West Virginia.
Well, what, in your opinion, are the three biggest issues facing farmers that we haven't talked about yet? In your nutshell plan for dealing with them.
The three, I had that wrote down here. The income is one thing that we need to look at, and marketing would solve the income. It has to be attractive for a farmer to, in the next generation. We have to think about the next generation, because if you don't have anybody to give that farm to, or a plan, and it's got to be longer than your life. It's got to be planned out there to where it goes on. That's what you keep. It keeps it green, keeps it natural, and West Virginia is wild and wonderful. And that's what we need. We need to do that. The other thing is you have to have education. We need to educate the youth to know that they have a part in our agriculture future. FFA, 4-H, both are great youth programs that teach leadership, community development, and those are the people, those are the leaders of our agriculture future right there. There's so many opportunities for diversifying. I believe if we could take and allow a farmer to see a complementary type business, be it a high tunnel, from being a traditional animal farmer of some sort, that would be an extra income. And that is what you got to look at too. It all falls, I know you asked for three of them, but it all falls back to the main thing, that the income will dictate to whether somebody's going to stay in the business. I mean, it's just like any of us. If we're not making enough money to live, to provide for our family, we're going to have to find another place to get that income. So we're going to seek another job. We need to make agriculture attractive to those people, so they will consider that an opportunity for their income, for their career. If we do that, agriculture will boom, and it might not be your main line, part-time or full-time. If it's something you love to do, that'll make your life more complete.
Well, with that, we've come to the end of the hard questions. This next set of questions are rapid fire, getting to know you, the person, not the candidate. So we know that farming is difficult, sometimes backbreaking and even heartbreaking work. It requires long hours without any certainty of knowing whether you can show a profit at the end of the year. The weather can ruin your crop or result in a bumper crop that then makes prices lower for everyone. It's like playing dice with Mother Nature. Given that, what made you decide? I know you said you're a third generation farmer. What made you decide to continue into that field?
Growing up in the farming business, it instills that desire to move forward. You feel committed because that was what your family does. Not every child follows the parents' footsteps, but that is what continues the family farm and the family legacy as a farmer on. It's instilled in you. You have a passion for it. And the one thing I could say is everyday miracles. If you really had to put it in a short term, that is what farming is. I've seen just about every type of livestock being born or hatched. It's just, it's an everyday miracle. For those who haven't seen it, they need that opportunity to experience that. And once you do, you get a passion. It's even growing your own vegetables. It is a miracle. I talked to someone in Kanawha County. A girl was over in my area, which I'm from Hardy County, which a little ways away from, you're over in Parkersburg, aren't you, in that area? So, and that's what she said. She said, I grew my first vegetable. I think it was a tomato she was growing. She says, I grew my first one this past year. And she's all excited about that. I mean, to see that excitement in someone's eyes that has never done that before, you could be a first time or you'd be experienced, but it's a miracle. Everyday miracles is my answer, and I'm sticking with it.
Well, so we'd like to know, this is about knowing you as a person. What's your single most favorite place or thing in West Virginia? And mind you, not the people of West Virginia, because we all know they're lovely people, but they're not a place or a thing. So.
Yeah. Well, I gave that a little thought. And as I was a county commissioner, I had the opportunity to be on the county commissioners board, the Association of Counties, or County Commissioners Association board. And I got to travel around for our board meetings through many counties throughout the state. And the one thing that comes to mind are the views that West Virginia offers, be it a mountain, be it the valley, be it a crop, be it a stream, be it a railroad track. And each county has a little different view. I mean, maybe some make the front page of a magazine, but when you get back in some of those areas, they all should be on the front page of a magazine. I drove a truck, and I still drive a truck for my my bedding business service for the animals, farm animals, and I used to go from Moorfield and go to Buckhannon because Coastal Lumber Company out there. I used to buy some shavings off of those guys, and I would leave at 3 a.m. And when I would come back, that was a 5-hour round trip. And before that, before they got the interstate out there, which a lot of people can't remember that not being an interstate, but before they got the interstate going from Elkins to Buckhannon, you used to have to meander down the roads back through there. And anyway, when I got back on the Allegheny Mountain, which is still a 2-lane road, the sun would come up, and makes you wonder how many people got to see that view from that particular site. And I would, leaving at the same time, I would get back to that place just about every time. And that view, and that's what it was. The sunrise, the sunset in West Virginia, that's just almost heaven. That's all I can say.
Well, I remember, because I grew up in Upshur County, and our church was on the road to Elkins. I remember what that road was like before they put in the 4-lane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say are your personal core values?
Well, I'm a Christian. I respect people, their lives. I have a close family, and actually, we were so close that we actually had a bluegrass family band. So I played banjo in the bluegrass family band since I was 11. I started when I was 11, and we played for a lot of community functions, and helped with many benefits. And that was a satisfying thing too. And it kind of fed right into me wanting to help people. And so my family instilled that desire to come out and do that, because anybody that plays music knows you're not doing it for the money. And the most time there wasn't any money. Growing up, we were at a lot of family reunions. Somebody would say, do you mind Sunday afternoon coming over, and we're having the family reunion here, and you bring the kids, and talk to my dad at that time, bring the kids over, and we'll feed you and have a good time. So that's, I've broke bread with a lot of people. And as I went on later on, I actually had the opportunity to compete in a few contests with the banjo, and I had the opportunity to go to the Maryland State banjo competition. And I don't know the exact year, but I won first place. So I was the Maryland State banjo champion at one point in time in my life. And it's just a passion. When I first learned how to play the banjo, my neighbor, who actually lives in the house I live in right now, was outside playing banjo. And if you've never experienced that type of a thing, it was just an echo through the holler, as we would say here in West Virginia. And it just captivated me. And I knew I was hooked in. I had to learn how to play that instrument. And I was lucky enough that my parents allowed me the opportunity to do that. And I was young. When you're young, you can learn certain things. And I had my family there. I got two brothers and a sister, and we all learned to play music, and got around the state, played a little bit. And that was so a close family, and a faith in God is what I am. It's what I have.
My dad plays the banjo, but I have no musical ability at all. He learned as a kid, he taught himself. He plays the banjo and the guitar, and his grandmother, my great-grandmother, played clawhammer banjo. So I think that's where he developed that love early on. So.
Oh yeah, I was in Pocahontas County, and they do a lot of the clawhammer style, and I never really experienced that. I've been around. I'm more of a bluegrass. I'm an Earl Scruggs type guy that plays three-finger style, bluegrass style, but that is an art. I couldn't believe it sounded so wonderful, so beautiful, because I'm used to one style banjo, and when I heard that, it just blew me away. But I do have appreciation for all music. That's where my heart, banjo, the heart, that's where my heart is.
Oh goodness. Well, you will have to get together with Sam Petzonk, who's running for Attorney General, because he's a banjo player too.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
I actually met him a couple times out there, and on the trail, and I brought a guitar along too, because I have a guitar, play guitar. Gave him the guitar, and I played the banjo, and we sang Country Roads at a couple that we closed some of the meet and greets down early in the year before this social distancing and all hit us. But yeah, he's a good guy, and it was fun. Yeah.
So what, and you may have already answered this, but what are you as an individual passionate about?
Well, I love bluegrass. I love any kind of music, though. Hunting, fishing, and loving every day, I guess. Luke Bryan said better. But that is something that I really enjoy. I'm a member of the Moorfield Lions Club as well, and we do a lot of things to help people, and it's a public service type thing. You get to go out, and everything we do goes right back to the people. We do a site program, and we do scholarship programs, and it's what we do here because I live in the poultry capital of the state of West Virginia, which is Moorfield or thereof. I'm actually outside, 3 miles outside of Moorfield, but we cook chicken. We barbecue chicken, and so somehow or another, I got roped into being a cook captain. So I get the privilege of getting up early and going down and getting the chicken at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, by that time, everybody's getting up and stirring around. So at 6 o'clock, we all meet at the town park, and we have our barbecue pit there, and we have our racks. We rack our chicken, and we cook somewhere between usually 600 halves, but we've cooked just 1,200 halves at a time. And but you learn how to barbecue, and they've taught me a lot of things, and I can barbecue you some chicken. And the Lions Club has a secret recipe, just like the bush beans. The old dog was the only one that knows, and but we got a couple people that know it on our team. So, but they won't let the secret out. But it is that's a fun. I really enjoy that. We cook probably. We used to do about 12 to 14 cooks a year, and but now it's down a little bit lower. Of course, this year here we would have had 2 barbecues, but with our medical emergency throughout what we're following the rules, we haven't done that. So, but that's an enjoyable time for me. And then I enjoy going out with my kids. I hunt. I'm an avid hunter. I love to deer hunt. I love to turkey hunt. It's just, you get out. It doesn't matter if you see anything or just getting out in the woods. I just love getting out and doing that. Makes you think about when you was a kid. We played cowboys and Indians all the time in the woods and such. And I guess that's probably part of what it is just reminisce and I guess unwind. Get the worries of your life away when you're out there in the woods hunting. And I think some ladies think us guys, when we go hunting, go out there and sleep, but no, we don't do that. We hunt. But my sister hunts too. So it's, women and men both enjoy the sport. So that's some of the things that I do. I enjoy family time. I like to fish. So it's a good thing too.
Well, it sounds like you've answered our next question, so I'm going to go on to the last one. What's the most unique about you as a person?
It's hard to critique yourself. I would say I look different, but I got 2 brothers that look a lot like me. So that's not, I'm not unique in that fashion, I guess, that part of it. But I don't know if it makes me unique or not, but I have a desire to be involved and try to help people. And I enjoy putting a smile on people's face. That's one of the reasons I enjoy playing music, because music does take your worries away. And if you can involve a little excitement, a little fun in with your business, it makes it more enjoyable. But if I can help in any way the state of West Virginia, who I have a passion for, and her citizens, that is what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I guess a lot of people think about the money value on it, but there's a lot easier jobs where you can make a lot more money than being agriculture commissioner on this. But I just think that that's where I need to be at this point in time in my life. And I hope I can get that point across, because it's hard to explain it in this kind of atmosphere. And I wish I could meet everyone, and it's just a difficult time to get out there and do that. But my education and my school hard knocks being a farmer already, and being through the experiences as a commissioner, I do feel makes me a viable candidate for this position. And I believe that I can do this job, and I'll do it to the best of my ability, because I have a passion for the agriculture side. And I want to see, all my family, all my friends, or most of my friends, are involved in agriculture in some manner where I live. Hardy County has ranks on just about everything. They're in the top 5 of all the agriculture production because our topography more than anything. But everybody's involved. Every county has a little something that they can offer in the agriculture side of it. And we can promote and grow and expand this agriculture in all 55 counties. It doesn't have to be a full-time income. It can be a part-time income. If you make a couple $1,000s on what you do a high tunnel, or raise a couple a beef or 2 on your property. I mean, that allows you to have a little extra income. Maybe you won't have to mow the grass. Let the cow eat it, huh? But I'd like to have the opportunity to be your agriculture commissioner for the state of West Virginia. And any other information you need, you can contact me. Go on my website. It's votekeplinger.com. And I'd be glad to talk to you. It's got a phone number on there. You can call me, and believe it or not, I'll answer the phone. But it is, there's so many fascinating things with agriculture. It's limitless. We could sit here and talk for days on it. And I'm sure you told me that some people interviewed, they had a little longer interview, and I told them, I said, man, I don't know if I can talk that long or not, but I believe I could. But I thank you all so much, and it's been a great experience, even getting around and running for the position. The people that I did get to meet, and they've all been wonderful. There's some people that got their favorites, and I talked to them, and I said, I'm not running against that person. I'm running for the position. And I want to be the agriculture commissioner for the state of West Virginia. So thank you all. Thank you, both of you girls.
Thank you.
Yes, well, thank you, JR. We're so glad you took the time to come and talk to us this afternoon, and we'll get this out and let the voters hear what you have to say, and they can make their minds up. So we appreciate you coming and talking to us. And everyone, please stay safe and wash your hands.